So I made it down to about 26, 27, somewhere in there. And we'll fill up the antifreeze. If it holds for that amount of time, just seems like it is, then we won't have to pressure test again. But let me get the antifreeze together. I was away for about 10 minutes mixing up some antifreeze. This thing held just fine, which is good. It means we don't have to pressure test it. It means we don't have any leaks. We can just simply fill this thing up. We're down about 5. I'll pull it out of here. I want the reservoir to the very tip of the top. So I'll let it pull in air the rest of the way. This airlift tool, it doesn't hold up to any abuse or rough handling. So anytime I'm done using this thing, I immediately just put it on it. I'll leave it laying on the bench. I don't lend it to anyone or anything like that. Got a pretty serious leak. I'm getting ahead of myself. I took the cat tube off to do to fix the UGR cooler supply tube. So let me put that on. I saw this charged air cooler tube laying in the floor, but I was like, let's go to this truck. But I got more than one truck apart in the shop, so I talked myself out of it. But I started up, so man, this thing's noisy. And it goes to this truck. That's why I try not to shut the lids until they've ran for a little bit. And I'm sure everything's okay. Yeah, but I mean, there's no reason to take this off. I didn't even think about it. But I'd taken it off to access the UGR cooler tube. And then I had to move on to something else while we were waiting on approval for this. So I didn't put it back together, I forgot about it. So someone might be curious, I don't know, might not, about when I torque something and when I don't. I can clearly haven't torqued these charge air cooler clamps. The only ones that I torque, I do these by feel. The only ones that I torque are the 6.4, because that thing can make 50 pounds of boost. Now, if you get those clamps too loose or too tight, they will pop off. These, however, are kind of like a 7.3. Whereas if you try to do the job correctly and torque them, you end up crushing the intercooler before the clamp will reach the desired torque. Or you'll damage something. It's not by the book. It doesn't work like it's supposed to. So I do the 7 degrees, 6 degrees by feel. and the 6.7s. The 6.4s are torque to the correct spec for what they are. I think the outer clamps are 106 inch-pounds. I think the inner clamps are 870 or 80, 81 maybe inch-pounds. Not a lot. So you can feel, when you tighten these, you can feel the clamp indent down onto the tube. But that's plenty good. It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, this thing's only built mid-20s boost. All right, round 2. Let's go for a ride. So we're sitting there at idle. Engine's pretty cold. And we got a baseline reading of 0, obviously. I got to run an errand down to a parts store, so I'm going to do that first before we go and do the testing on this. So, excuse me if my lens is dirty. I'll try to clean it, but I'm not having much luck. So I'm going to run this down the road, just through a couple red lights to get to the parts store, get what I need, and then we're going to take it out on a section of highway where nobody's at, and I'll turn the camera back. I would film driving around, but I don't have any motion software for this thing or rigs, and it bounces like crazy. So when we get ready to start doing some testing, we'll look at how high it'll go, and it may go up just going through town, but when we turn it on, that's where we'll be at. So I'm on the side of the road. I'm not broke down, I just stopped because I've been driving this thing pretty hard and it stinks like antifreeze. So I was like, I better pull over and look under the hood. This clamp, somebody's bent it when they were working on the motor. It's bent, it's sprung, it's leaking. So now I got to put a clamp on it. So we got to run back to the shop and clamp it off and then re-drive it again. So I'm glad we decided to check this a little pretty closely, because this is the brand new radiator and you can see how it's stained up. And what I think was happening all along was this radiator seam was leaking, and then the airflow was blowing it back, and then it was getting on everything else, and it stained that and made it look like a head gasket issue. And you know, we're running on, you see that, and you work on a lot of these things and you see something like that and you start, your imagination runs wild with pattern failure. You know, oh, it's a pattern failure, these things blow all the time, and all of a sudden you know, jumping all over the head gaskets when there's really nothing wrong with them. So we're going to drive this thing one more time. I think we got all the leaks sealed up. So that was it. We got a maximum of 6 psi. So luckily the head gaskets were okay, and it was just that spray going back onto the bottle from the radiator. So we've taken care of the entire coolant system. I'm happy about that, and it makes it easy for the customer to make their decision. Now they don't have to think about trying to get rid of the vehicle. They can keep it, can last and work them a little longer. I actually spoke to the owner, and he said this is as heavy as the truck ever gets. They don't put any more on it, so it's not like it's going to be loaded extra, which could create more pressure. With that little PSI, it tells me the turbo's not over boosting, it's got plenty of power, runs fine. And now it frees up their money to spend on, you know, the injectors. We're just going to go ahead and put injectors in the glow plugs in that whole left side. I can salvage the harness because I can pop the harness out from the inside. I don't have to worry about damaging that plastic glow plug harness, which I'll show you tomorrow. Parts will be here tomorrow for it. We're going to fix the airbag indicator and get the engine running like it's supposed to. And we're going to do the shocks and the bushings and all that stuff. So it'll be good for another year, another 2 years hopefully, before they decide to get, you know, upgrade to a newer vehicle. So when the parts get here tomorrow, we'll get back to it. We got our parts for our our diesel with the injector issue. So this is the parts we're going to put on today. We got 2 front shocks, 4 glow plugs, 4 injectors. Then we got our airbag deactivation switch, pinion seal, and 2 front sway bar bushings. So the first thing we're going to do is pop this injector, this valve cover off the left side, change out these injectors and the glow plugs on the left side, reassemble it, and then we're going to move over to the lift and we'll do everything else off the lift. I like that movie, No Country for Old Men, when he's telling old Llewellyn's wife about that guy that had the farm and he used a thing to kill the cows with, Charlie Walters or whatever. And she calls him up. She calls him up a couple days. She goes, "Sheriff, is that story true about Charlie Walters?" He's like, "Charlie Walters." Oh yeah. Well, it's true. It's a story. Movie's fresh on my brain. Watched it again last night when I got home. I'm a hardcore Cohen fan. Check what? He wants me to look at that?
I don't know if he said anything to you,
Is that yeah, is that wing nut? No last names, please.
Huh?
No last names, please. Sounded fine when you just started it, didn't it?
Yeah.
NPF.
Huh?
NPF. No problem found. If you can get it to do it while it's still here in the shop and I'm over here working and I can hear it, then I'll look at it. Don't do it on the way out the door. Started a couple times, so it's not bad. That's good. Nice. That's gonna have to. It's gonna have to be more problematic than that. I said it's gonna have to do something more than that. Of course, he's, you know, I mean, he'll complain about anything, but he won't leave it long enough for you to do anything with it. I mean, you know, freaking rear main seal's leaking. Can I wait on it? Pull up a lawn chair and stand right there beside you while you're freaking working on it. Give me a hammer. See that last drawer is open on the wide side? Shut them off. Drawer below that. No, that one. Yeah. Little black, little regular hammer in there. Smaller one. Yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, they go bad, but
there's some mean common thing.
You don't want to just stick one on there. I guarantee you now, it don't fall right out of there. You take the bolts out of it, just sit there. No, you gotta have a combination. It's such a weird combination to get that thing out of there. They made a video. You go to Shop Manual, click here for a video on how to get started on it. It shows the dude in there just doing this number, taking the starter. Yeah, heavy one of them starters are. He's in there. He got the strongest, this guy that works out with like clay or something, just pops it right out of there. I tried that.
Oh, that water pump video?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Stick starter on. Join the crowd. Be like everybody else. Oh yeah, all day.
All right. I ain't gonna bug you.
What's that?
I plugged my air.
Dude, we probably haven't drained them compressors in a month. I guarantee you they need to be drained.
But out at my shop, we would fire up that compressor at my house, and it would run for like 2 days and shut off. I asked my buddy, I said, "You ever drain the water out?" "Not in a year or two." I pulled the plug on the bottom, it drained for 25 minutes straight.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's probably what happened out there.
That son of a bitch was full.
When Zach used to work here, Zach would drain them every night for us. He didn't have to, he just took care of it.
That was a good kid, man.
Then he left us high and dry.
Yeah.
So I blame it all on Zach. I'll see him like a year from now and be like, I had to buy a new impact because of you.
Yep.
He'll be like, what are you talking about? I don't know. He got him a crotch rocket. I don't know how much longer he'll be around.
You got a crotch rocket?
Yeah. Bought one of them stripped down, don't have any fairings on it, you know? Kind of like a street, what do they call them things? Street fighter or something like that? Yeah, it looks like you got into an accident and couldn't afford the plastic, so you've been riding around without the plastic.
Baby steps, you can buy plastic next.
That'll total a motorcycle out. You got a heavy fairing bike and you just drop it on its side and break the plastic, they'll total the whole bike out.
Oh yeah, well that shit's expensive.
Yeah.
Sure, that shit is not cheap.
So what happened to your bike? I fell over in the driveway. Then we got it.
I bet he gets better than I do in my A1. I get like 8 or 9. You don't want to fuck her up either.
Cost you $5 every morning to start it.
Gosh, I got heartburn.
Hey, Mike, I told him on last night from the police station, we literally against the police station. Do not release it until they call you. It's in a bullpen. Okay, there's a key and a little piece of paper in the console of the record with a name on it. The cop said this is the owner of the car. He's the only one that can get that car. Do not release the car. It sucks if I didn't call him and he released that car.
Never a dull moment, huh?
No. It was funny though. I literally went behind the police station into the parking lot and picked up the car, drove it onto the truck. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But I was told, do not release it until they call. I was like, okay.
You think Mike will remember that?
It don't matter. I told him. My job is done.
I got it on record too, so if anybody disputes it.
Well, you didn't tell me. Ah, fucker, I got you out of line now. You were recorded.
It's like all those guys that ride around with dash cams. CYA.
You know, that saves a lot.
You didn't put them parts on my truck. That saves what?
Well, what about the driving? You know, the dash cams on the when they're driving.
Yeah.
That's probably saved quite a few people a lot of shit.
Well,
They cut me off. No, you ran right into me, you idiot. I got it on
I've seen a couple of YouTube videos of truck drivers, people saying the truck driver did something and they got it right on camera that the driver brake checked them.
brake checking them.
Yeah.
You can't brake check that truck. It can't stop like you.
But all the cops up at Pitt Community College wear body cameras. Most of them, they just got them on their lapel, and they're neat. They look like a pocket screwdriver. He said, I was talking to one guy, I was like, what is that? What's that on your thing there? And he goes, oh, it's a body camera. He said that's saved his ass more than once.
Yeah, because
People come in and say that he got snotty with them or was rude to them, or, you know, and the captain's like, get out of here, get out of my office.
Right.
You want to watch the film? It's like, sir, do you want to watch the film? And they're like, he's like, get out of here.
that's like people recording their friends fighting and then posting it. Really? If they weren't going to get in trouble, they are now.
Look at all this money I stole.
Yeah. I'm gangsta. Or they do that mannequin shower and blow up guns and shit, and then they raid your house and get you for illegal firearm and shit. Well, how did you know?
Yeah. Cops love Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Have you heard how they'll post on there on Facebook? If you have received a batch of heroin from such and such, bring it to your local police department. They said you would be surprised. They actually did it for people. They said we just want to test it. I was looking for one the other day on Call of Duty, right? Inspection's fine, I'm gonna look it up. Still within the time. All we got is this. But I agree, it doesn't need to be covered.